Yes, we are back again. Working with Punch 2. It's the audition sequencer mode. You can see it here. Then you see what is playing pops up. This is a bit like a traditional drum machine from the past. So Punch 2 in the latest version, originally we had the audition mode, which you can select here, audition mode, and then it plays simply the grooves or breaks which you have selected here. In this case, you see groove 1, groove 2, groove 3, groove 4, and break 4. And of course, this is nice to have, as it is, as the word already explains, that you have an audition. So then you hear straight away if you hit the audition button, or if you hit the note G3 sharp, then you instantly hear a groove and what is inside the drum kit, instead of that you have to. So of course you can also play the notes. So yeah, that's we're working on a new update for Punch 2 with new sounds and some little improvements. Let me show you one example. So if I go here, for instance, to sample 22, okay, and then I go to the bank manager. The bank manager, once we release this version, everything's a little bit closer to each other, so you have a little bit more text visible. And if you go to the drum preset manager, so I can have now pad 22, which is this one. Got some side effects I can hear. Then you see it's a sample pad, and then you see all the drum presets pop up. So if I go to snare, I can change from snare. And the cool thing now in the new version is that you have a audition. So if you click on this drum preset, which is you have an audition straight away. So that's cool, isn't it? I don't know why I hear a little click inside of it, but that's maybe because of what it's used in the other thing. So that's new. So everything is a little bit more optimized from user point of view. So if you next time if you click pad 22, you also will hear it. So these are little things. You also can click on this one, but I think if you select the pad, it's handy that you hear what's inside of it already. So that's in the drum preset manager. And then I have, of course, the total kit that has its own preset manager. You see here, this is a kit. And then one of the neat things is that if you use the right mouse, it does audition the preset. Although you have to keep in mind that it takes a little bit longer before the audition starts, because it needs to load in this whole preset. So if I go now here to slow B78 and I click on the right mouse, the audition starts. Okay, and so the same here, which is loaded. So with the right mouse or click mouse on your Mac, you can audition already a preset, but it takes a little bit of time because, yeah, the Punch 2 presets are pretty big. Because there are 24 pads, you can have all kind of things which need to be loaded. So, and we working on having some new samples on board. And you see here, I have some of the vocal samples which are inside Subwoofer Bass 2. In the latest update of Subwoofer Bass 2, we added these, and so here, this one, for instance, is a sample bass drum, sample A. If you go to sample B, you can see it's a Vox percussion. It's this sound. So I click here on this speaker, and that's combined. And also what is also new will be that if because you can load 3 samples inside each pad. So if in this case you see mix AB and 2 samples are loaded, and you see it also turns green if a sample is inside of it, so that it turns it labeled green. So these are all little things which make it a bit user-friendly in terms of usage. There are many other things we're working on, mainly than the new drum presets. Let me think if there's another thing which... Okay, yeah, in the FX section. Of course, this is a very busy page. We have the upper part are the 4 FX. But you see if I play a pad, it lights up. But the pad which is selected is already darker. So if you play something, it lights up in the darker color so that that's the one you audition. But if you have one selected, which is pad 1, it doesn't light up, but it is already dark, but it lights up then the pad name here. See, the pad lights up, so you hear, okay, that's the one which I have selected. So this is, of course, a very busy page. If you're in the FX1 mode, it's a bit more calmer, because that's a different way of routing. Then there is in the main page also something new, which is down here. You see, in this down left section, you already can change many things inside the pad you selected. So up here, you select the pad in the main page. And if you go down here, you have some additional things. You can go to a different type of drum sound. And what we added here is then also the note number, and you can also audition here. You see? And go from here to the edit page. So that's all these kind of things we added. Yeah, another thing is a filter envelope amount you see here. For instance, if you have a filter envelope going on and you have a positive amount, it stays positive. But if you go negative, it shows also how essentially this envelope works. So it also goes negative to help you to understand how the envelope then works if you have a negative amount in the filter. So there's a lot of stuff which we are doing inside Punch 2. In the after July, we hope to release it, and so at the end of July, then we hope to release it with some new sounds and some little things that improve the workflow with this big machine. And it's a big machine, that's definitely so. Okay, let's see if I find some people in the chat room, because we have a soccer competition in Europe, so and the Dutch guys needs to play, and of course, I think people also will watching after the live stream football or soccer as they call it in the United States. Everybody, good evening. We have okay, Winston, good idea. Simmons. Lint would be fine. It's already a bit in there, so it's maybe too much hidden, but all these sounds already can be created. So if you go here to okay, let's go FX, go to the manager, because I also created here so I go in the bank, scroll down, let me see, default presets, also KR55. So the snare of the is already there, so it's typical Simmons sound. I don't know if there are samples which are good. I think with the synth engine itself already you can do a lot. Okay. I'm checking here the dance bank. No. That's more 909. Yeah, that's also more 909. Yeah, disco, maybe this one. There's some very good Lin type bass drum. So if I go to this one, because I can recall that Winston asked in one live stream which was the kick we used, and it's one of the kicks inside these classic here in the punch bass drum. So let me see if you go here to punch one. So here we have already a Simmons alike one. This really sounds like a Simmons kick drum. So there's many things already in there. Okay, no, I'm doing the wrong thing. Okay, I'm still in the hit the wrong button. Let me see if I find a typical. Well, this is a typical Lin drum style of bass drum. It's not per se the Lin drum, but it has the same dry kick from the 80s. Oh, this one. And of course, and you can always tune it. So different kicks. These are the built-in kicks. That's another one. EDM. So in the built-in bass drums, we have the models, which are really the synthesized bass drums. And we could use, for instance, model 4. Okay, it's maybe a bit too loud. I hear a strange side effect. I don't know what it is. So this is a bit like a Simmons, only the Simmons had noise, and that we can add here, of course. So the Simmons had a little noise for creating the extra click. Maybe this one should a bit. Now this is a typical kick because I worked with Simmons in the studio. So this is typically how a Simmons kick would be sounding. So by adding this little click at the start. So it's very short, as you can. Yeah, so a good question. So yeah, we work on this new version of Punch to a very nice update it will be. Not sure if there's anything else I could mention. Well, I think I already had quite some things which is going to be inside of it. So to make life a little bit easier. And especially that was an idea by a user. He said, well, when I go over to the drum kits, it would be nice if I can audition these presets. So now this one I could save now, and I could save this one as, I would save it now, and I would call it Simpson Kick 1. So there we have it already. And then it appears. So And going back to the advanced page. Yeah, that's the one. And you can have also different. No, that one. That one is cool. Yeah, it's even tuned to G1, G sharp. That's also nice, of course. The punch is an additional click. So I think the click is maybe too much. Maybe a little less. So you see here. Yeah. And then, okay, do save it again, save preset. I will make some variations. So a bass inspired on the Simmons kick. And the snare is essentially, if we go here to the second, here we click here on this one. Okay, here I see lighted up. That is the one. Click on the pencil to go to edit. Here I also could use a model. And to create this type of snare. Okay, that takes a little bit longer, so let me see if we have some models, presets with model snares. Here we go. Yeah, this already starts also to dirty snare, isn't it? There's always this one, you see, so you go over the snare, type snare is the pad, is type snare. We have all kind of folders, and you see we already have so many presets using the models, clean ones, sample based, special. The special ones are then grain. Yeah. Okay, so that's in progress. And yeah, well, we had today also, the other theme for today is that we make some soft lead from the 70s. David Kafat had sent me some examples. And let's start with that. And oh, by the way, must not forget, today you can download Verb2 and it has VST3 support. So if you are keen on having that, you can download it, and also RP Reverse. So we have now RP Verb2, RP Delay, Delsane, and RP Reverse VST3 compatible. And there will be following more. So we very soon will have it for Bluetooth, and Vecto is also VST3, which we recently released. So that will make the people happy who are longing for VST3. And it makes most sense for the FX because then the sidechain is a little bit easier. Okay. Is the tone curve specified as the EQ? No, I think it's the tone curve with the synthesis is really, it's a different range where it acts. It's very typical. So if I tone curve, so if I shut down the noise, it's therefore a different, really tone to it. This is model 4. If you take model 1, which is a bit easier to control. You see high goes, it starts on a higher point. So if I change the curve here. It starts a little bit different. And still, if you have then, I see here that the curve, exponential, This is more a low 808 type of kick. Okay, so yeah, let's go to the idea from Kafa in the chat room. David, he sent me, I will show you the text, and then we have something about PitchBend, which was asked a few weeks ago, and Sanjini sent me some Vecto presets. But first, let me show you what David had sent. Okay, hi Rob, it's for the live. If you have time to recreate the lead 70s smooth of Moog with Sub-Boom Bass 2, yeah, well, we would not do that. We could do that with Sub-Boom Bass 2, but I would rather prefer to do it with Predator or B.I.T. And there's a video from Jamiroquai musician, and this one we can do, but also from Quincy Jones. So a kind of whistle and brass sounds. I call it a whistle and a soft brass lead sound. Okay, so I'll shut this down. I put the link in the description in the video for watching this video. Okay. Okay, now you can see it here. Okay, here's the video. You see this making mellow 70s vibes on keys. Matt Jones is doing this, and you see his MiniMoog has quite some yellow keys. Mine had that one once I purchased it in the early 90s, but lucky enough I had a replacement keyboard, which it has now. But still, yeah, as of course, at that time, this plastic quality was not that good, I think, and the sun made it turn yellow. So that was this video. The link you can watch, or you can, yeah, the link to the video you can see in the info section of this video. So the link to this video. Okay, let's play it. Hopefully I don't get too much of a strike again. Okay, so I recorded it very shortly. I think Tom Aldrich will love this type of thing. It's also type of lead sound that Tom Aldrich had last week, I think, very close to that one. So I'm going here back and make a okay from there. Yeah, well, he uses the MiniMoog, and that makes some things pretty easy to start with. So when I start with B.I.T, simply default preset, and then, okay, I simply take, for sure, a legato mode. Yes, and there's also some glide, and with the MiniMoog, the glide is always active. So I would have then constant rate, so of course this is still not the sound. He uses on this preset, he uses a saw waveform, and the second oscillator has the triangle waveform on the same octave. So I'm doing here the same, and I need to put it on. And then, of course, maybe a bit higher because he plays a bit. Okay, that's where we start. We have MiniMoog filter here, keyboard tracking, no velocity, keyboard track. He uses a little bit of and of course vibrato, yeah, sure. That's also what he's saying. He's using the third oscillator of the MiniMoog for adding the vibrato. Okay, now it sounds a little bit too dry and it's not mellow. I think he uses also a so I put a little bit of so maybe this is a little bit in the direction. Maybe. Yeah, my keyboard clacking, of course. Modulation wheel. Now let's see if it gets a little bit closer. Maybe it needs a little bit more. Filter envelope. Okay, I'm doing it now from my head without listening. Let's see if we get any closer. Okay, it's a bit too loud. Otherwise it's... Okay, so that's too bright to my opinion. So... too much delay. Okay, again. It's darker. Okay, my stupid key. it slowly gets there, but he puts on the video also a limiter. Maybe last cue. So I would take this one. Is of course not 100% the same, but it has, I think, pretty much the same save preset as Mellow 70s number 1. So okay. Okay, this one has a little bit less, the oscillator one. More of the triangle. Okay, so I call this one save preset as number 2. So it's not precise the same, it's getting close, it has more the vibe of it. Of course, very hard because you also add some additional effects to it, which makes that the sound changes also. If you put the compressors and that kind of things on it, it always colorizes things. Okay. What I know here is okay, let's go back to number 1. The envelope is different. It's more like this. Okay, again. Again. So now we're getting closer. Yeah, it has a wop wop wop, a envelope on the filter. And a more detuning. I'll make this one version 3. Save preset as version 3. So I make it downloadable after the live stream. I put it as a link and tweak yourself, but this is a mellow. Of course, we need PitchBend. Yeah, that's a good one. Semi. Then of course things get much nicer if you have some PitchBend. And also the other ones, PitchBend, so a little bit of variation. It's of course not 100%, that's of course far more work than only in the few minutes that I tried to create it. But these are nice starting points for having these mellow type of lead sounds. With, for instance, B.I.T. of B.I.T. Yeah, and the other one, David or Carfile from the chat room did send was, you notice, a track from Michael Jackson, and it's Rock You from this composer. Also, I think he passed away, sadly. Rob Temperton, yeah, or Roy Temperton, I'm not sure, but Temperton I can recall. And that's the typical sinus wave lead sound. Okay, with that one I need to be very careful. It's of course a very dominant and well-known melody. Something. That's what he's playing. So I start then, of course, with a sinus waveform. And if it's done with the MiniMoog, it has no sinus waveform. So it's always a triangle. One high. Okay, then. And then the filtering. And then it has some vibrato. Or maybe the sinus, maybe it's done with another synth. One of them. So, okay, let's play it. Yeah, and then you hear also the monophonic, legato. You clearly hear some glide. So that's portamento. So this one is pretty easy, in fact. So now we have already. I don't want to play the melody, otherwise I get strike. So then what you could do yourself, of course, is using the PitchBend here. So I would call this one save preset as a temperton lead. Yeah, why not? Temperton lead. Of course, with the modulation amount, you could use aftertouch or the modulation wheel. So yeah, I think this one pretty nails it. Yeah, nice. Okay, a long note. Temperton lead, save preset. So I saved this one also. You can adjust, of course. I hope you like it a little bit. We rock with you. Yeah, that's the Rob Temperton. Yeah. Take care to strike. But this is also very often used in hip-hop, by the way. These type of flute sounds. And of course, in hip-hop, it's always dry. So they no delay. It's... Yeah, also the flute of Eve of the War of the Worlds. That was also a typical sinus waveform. So I think there it was more... If you go, yeah, so that one, of course, manager, I need to give this one a category. That is a lead sound. Yeah, here is the lead sound. It's legato mode. It's a, well, pretty dark, a little bit of FX. Yeah, there we go. Tempo tone lead. So, yeah, guys. Oh my, time flies. But we have these run already. And yeah, picture also B.I.T for these soft leads, what you can do yourself. Because you like this type of, you go to synth leads. And then you simply make these sounds which are inside of it. Like this one. It's also already so very softly. Then make it softer by having a little bit. So this is already aftertouch saw me. So the aftertouch changes a little bit the filter frequency. Yeah, cool, isn't it? Okay, then let's go to the other thing that Sanjini emailed me, because yeah, we had a discussion about PitchBend, how to do PitchBend with the PitchBend, and I did maybe not fully understand it, because yeah, what I use here, if you see my keyboard, it has a spring on board, and for instance, this spring is missing on a MiniMoog. On a MiniMoog, it doesn't have the spring, so, but I use it. So just like a guitar player, I simply use that as a expression. But so let's see what Sanjini wrote us. He wrote last Thursday, Tom Aldrich asked for the vibrato to pitch wheel. The modulation matrix. He talks about the modulation matrix, which is underrated. Yeah, there's much with the it's like a modular synth. Yeah, I agree. Only if you save a preset, it's saved inside our plugin. So it's like patching on a modular. He has vibrato example 1. LFO is routed to only oscillator 1. The amount of the vibrato is controlled by the modulation wheel. So if I go to his preset in Vecto, his first preset, here we have Vecto, and I go to this first preset, vibrato example 1. He uses a choir. You see, free LFO1 is down here. It's addressed to oscillator 1. It's fine tuning. It's 0%, but modulation 1 is the modulation wheel is controlled to control the modulation slot 1. So the modulation 1 controls the amount of this one. So that's a way you can do it in a modulation matrix. Okay, so it's only oscillator 1, so maybe I shut down this one. And now it's the case that in our other synthesizers, we sometimes do it a little bit easier because then there is already a pitch LFO on board. But this is how you do it in the synthesizer if it's not already patched in some clever way. So if I go back to B.I.T, you see there we make it a little bit comfortable for the end user. Is simply that we have a pitch LFO here already. So this LFO is already addressed to the general fine tuning of the sound. So here I can open it. You hear it? And if I want to use this dynamically, this amount, so that the modulation is not each time maximum, you can use the amount control, and the amount control has also a certain amount. So how much the modulation wheel adds the vibrato. So if I open now the modulation wheel, the vibrato is added. Or after touch, if you have a keyboard with after touch. So in this synthesizer, it's already done for you, because this is also what appears many times on classic synthesizers, and it, of course, B.I.T goes back in time in terms of concept of the virtual of the analog machines, and this is of course a virtual analog machine. So it depends on the synthesizer how to control it. And then the second example he does mention as okay, in the second example, so now the free LFO only changes the vibrato of oscillator 1. In the second example, you see the free LFO, but now it's on the global fine. So that's what's happening in B.I.T. It's also on the global fine tuning. So here you have global, then you have global fine. So then the free LFO modulates all the oscillators inside of it. So if you then open the modulation wheel, both oscillator 1 and oscillator 2 will have vibrato. You hear that? And then if you go back again to the first one, you hear that the choir stays flat, but it's only oscillator 1 modulating. So in example 2b, he uses fine. And then there's another thing, he uses aftertouch to control the speed of the LFO. And that's the cool thing. Yeah, it's really patching what you do inside a modulation matrix. If I open now, so the amount, and I can use the aftertouch to speed it up. Okay, and then we have example 3. If you need all fingers on the keys, only aftertouch needed. Yeah, that's a good point. So aftertouch increases the speed of the LFO. So now LFO amount is controlled by aftertouch, but also the speed of it. And that's, you see, it's all patched inside of it here. And in some sense, it's pre-connected, or you so just like what we showed in B.I.T, also in some other ones. And here you see, yeah, it's very obvious that the modulation matrix shows essentially that the synth is all connections, making connections together. Okay, then we have example 2. Yeah, also very interesting. In example 2, it's the envelope it's controlling, which is also, so free envelope 1, which is down here, controls how much the vibrato is added. So it really controls it over time. So if you change here the time, and that's very nice for an automatic, for instance, and I do it a little bit over too much here, but let's take a classic waveform. So you hear the waveform starts first without vibrato, and now it has a slow attack. So the free envelope has a slow attack, so it takes very long before it's on the maximum. And then you hear that the vibrato kicks in slowly. Takes long. It's even synced, that's too long, 16 bars. Okay, the fade should be okay. You need to have a good setting here. So you see in slow attack, it takes long before the envelope with attack decay sustainably controls the amount of the vibrato. And this still can be handy, for instance, if you want to have an automated vibrato that kicks in. So you also could have then the free envelope, and most likely Sangini already had that one. Yeah, random node then. That's the other example he had. Random vibrato and LFO speed. That's if you have random node values. Some get it, some nodes don't have it. So yeah, in Vecto, it's really a great thing to show how you can connect vibrato inside Vecto. So to recap, we go back to which is the most common thing is in this example 1B, is that you take the free LFO, you connect it to the fine pitch so that all oscillators get this vibrato, and you can use the modulation wheel to control the amount of the vibrato. So here you can use it then. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Sangini. I think that's maybe also what Tom Aldrich meant, that he wanted to, how you can do this inside, for instance, Vecto compared to other things. So if you go back again to B.I.T, you see here we have it built in. But if you want to have here not only aftertouch, the modulation wheel adds more vibrato, but also can change, for instance, the speed. So I could say use the aftertouch. Okay, channel aftertouch to control the LFO speed. Then you need to have something extra. So then you need the, and then you need the target the, let me see where is this little baby? The global pitch LFO speed. You see there it is. So if I use that aftertouch, I make it faster. Of course, it's pretty much. Yeah, vibrato by using this, the PitchBend, that's of course, but yeah, this is a automated vibrato. Of course, with a guitar, it's a bit easier because you have the finger over the string which you can move. So with a, yeah, here it is a little bit different. If you have a ribbon controller which has a center position, then it's a little bit easier again. Okay, guys, so I hopefully enjoyed it a little bit. The yeah, also the filter changes. Yeah, it's cool. Aftertouch is cool if your keyboard has it. But keep in mind, if you record aftertouch, it's pretty intensive in terms of data. So if you see it here, so here you see it in the and in the past with MIDI, it could lead to some MIDI delay. Of course, we don't have that in the software, but it could lead to quite a bit of a latency problem, because the aftertouch data is so much data compared to the notes that you would have some MIDI trouble because of the aftertouch. So in the early days, we did filter out aftertouch while recording, and if it was needed because of a lead sound or the sound really had this aftertouch as a bass, then we put it on. And it is also, you can filter in your Cubase that it filters out aftertouch while recording, because aftertouch, you don't need it with drums or regular things, but that's a little tip. Okay, guys, so we go out today with another song of Tom, which has the right title, Vacation Time. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Today's for the last live stream, and now I will be back at the if I'm not wrong, Thursday the 15th, if I'm not wrong. Yes, 15th of July, but I will put that in the community tab that you can read if you have subscribed to my channel. You can read also see the community tab, and then of course I will mention that I'm back again. So next week, Thursday, I'm lazy. Picture me being lazy on the beach and drinking a cocktail. And of course, we're looking forward to being lazy on holiday. That's, of course, we need to recharge, and so that once we are back, we have full energy for creating new cool stuff. And of course, it will be lovely to see you again after the holiday. And yeah, Tom, again, thank you for another demo song. What we are planning to do is, with all the demo songs that Tom did send us, to make a page on our homepage, which all the Tom Aldrich demo songs which he created. There are so many lovely songs inside of it. I think more people should hear it. So, but I drop you an email about that, Tom. And thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, and yeah, enjoy the song by Tom Aldrich, Vacation, it's called. Vacation time. It's vacation time, yeah. Vacation time. It's vacation time now. Vacation time. And it's vacation time, yeah. Go take a holiday. I need a holiday. Go take a holiday. I need a holiday. I need a holiday. Go take a holiday. I need a holiday.